The Rally of Great Britain. Some of the greatest names in the history of rallying have won this prestigious event. Once again, the iconic British Rally marks the season finale, and with a three-way fight for the runner-up spot to be decided, who will add their name to this historic list is anyone's guess. Coming up in WRC Shakedown this week, we have an exclusive chat with British star Chris Meek as he prepares for his debut WRC season with Mini.
There is some long days ahead, but first instinct is the car is very, very good.
We travel to North Africa, where World Rally stars of the past take on the fearsome desert stages of the Rally de Maroc. And we look ahead to the season finale at Wales Rally GB, where we say goodbye to the current breed of World Rally cars. For the final round of the 2010 season then, we're heading back to the picturesque countryside and forests of Wales. The Rally of Great Britain, or RAC Rally as it was historically known, has been a fixture on the calendar for almost every year since the World Championship began in 1973. For the second year running, the event is based in the Welsh capital Cardiff, with the service park alongside the impressive Millennium Centre and a new super special to be run in Cardiff Bay. The city is on Wales's south coast, just a few hours' drive from London, with the stages spreading out to the north of here over the 3 days of competition. The event features 20 stages spread across southern and mid-Wales, and in all there are just under 360 kilometres of the event's infamous mixture of mud and gravel to tackle. We'll have a few more details about this year's route later in the show. Looking back at the last 5 years, in 2005, Peter Solberg claimed the win in an event that was overshadowed by the tragic death of co-driver Michael Park. In 2006, Marcus Gronholm had a relatively easy run to victory after Sebastian Loeb missed the event through injury and his teammate Mikko Hirvonen damaged his roll cage with a heavy impact on day one. The following year, though, Mikko made amends with his first GB win, while Loeb did just enough to pit Gronholm to the title for the second year running. Andreas Mikkelsen took the award for the most spectacular exit. 2 years ago, Loeb had won the championship with room to spare, but still counted to his first win in Wales, overcoming early leader Jari-Matti Latvala. Mikko Hirvonen rolled on the first day, while Sebastian Ogier had led on his first WRC outing until he crashed too. And last year saw a thrilling fight to the finish between Loeb and Hirvonen as they fought for the Drivers' Championship. Hirvonen eventually conceding defeat after a heavy landing damaged his front bonnet. Loeb claimed his second GB win and 6th world title. Rally Spain represented the final outing on tarmac for the current generation of WRC cars, and it ended in familiar fashion with the Citroën C4 once again winning the day. It means that in the hands of Sebastian Loeb, the C4 has never been beaten on tarmac.
For sure, the Citroën is good on tarmac. I think I'm not so bad, but because it's a few Citroën driving, and we still continue to win on tarmac. Yeah. And we won also with the Xara before, so I hope I'm for something in this success. But yeah, for sure, it's a pleasure to finish on a victory again on a tarmac rally, not to destroy the image of this car.
Recently, the Rally Catalunya has been an all-asphalt affair, but this year the organisers introduced gravel stages into the first day. It was a change that was welcomed by the teams and drivers, and pre-event, many pundits believe that the change in format represented the ideal opportunity for local hero Danny Sordo to break his WRC duck and win on his home event, courtesy of his better road position compared to teammate Sebastian Loeb. But Loeb wasn't reading from the same script. A devastating drive in the opening morning left everyone else in his wake, and Sordo, struggling for grip and suffering from apparent differential problems, closed out the day a disappointing 6th.
Really, really difficult, because I try to go fast, but the car is sliding a lot all the time. I try to go clean, to go sliding, to brake early, to brake late. I try everything, and times still bad. So it's a little bit frustrating after one day here in Catalonia to be 6.
Day 2 and the fight back was on for Sordo. His confidence had clearly returned on the black stuff, again proving he's still a force on the sealed surface. He closed out the day in 3rd and within touching distance of 2nd place Petter Solberg.
Today was really good. I made good times and come back, but still a little bit disappointed for yesterday, but it's okay. I will try to stay concentrating tomorrow and try to fighting with Peter for the 2nd place.
Despite a brilliant fight back in front of his home support, it was only 3rd place for the Spaniard, and the question is whether Danny will ever get a better chance to win. His final chance this season will come in Wales, but he must first regain his composure after the disappointment of his home event.
I lost a little bit the confidence, no? But the last rally will be very interesting for everybody because it's open for everybody. Everything is decided. Championship for Sebastian now, 2nd place for the championship. He will be a little bit more for other people also. So it will be a really nice rally. The stages I like in general, so I will try to enjoy.
Wales Rally GB will be the final outing for this incarnation of WRC car, and not only the drivers but also the teams will be aiming to go out on a high in the final race before the new regulations come in next season. With Rally GB next then, Matt Wilson will again be the only British representative among the official WRC cars. That won't be the case next year. New Team Mini have already signed Ulsterman Chris Meek as one of their drivers for 2011, and the 31-year-old is relishing the challenge ahead.
Very exciting for me to be involved right from the beginning on this initial test. There is some long days ahead, but first instinct is the car feels very, very good, and we have a great platform to work from. So it's an exciting period. I have made no secret of the fact of where ultimately I wanted to be, and it's great to be crossing paths with ProDrive at this stage of my career. I've always chased an opportunity in a full-time factory drive, and especially with such an iconic brand as Mini coming back into rallying. Obviously the history going back to the old Monte Carlo rallies with Paddy Hopkirk, and I'd say there's so many things that make it quite special for me to be involved, and I say it's going to be a big step for me, but I'm really looking forward to it.
Meek has been on the fringes of the sport's top level for several years. A JWRC regular from 2003 to 2006, his natural talent was nurtured by Scottish legend Colin McRae through his formative years. While opportunities at the sport's top level proved scarce, he has worked regularly with Citroën in a testing capacity and is certainly looking forward to getting back in competition with the likes of Danny Sordo.
Teammates with Danny in the Junior World Championship, we had great battles back then. Danny obviously progressed into the WRC. He's quite a few years experience now under his belt, and I think with the current World Rally Car regulations you need lots of experience. Sebastian Ogier now is getting near the end of his 2nd year, a phenomenal talent. He's producing the goods, but again in the junior formulas I raced against him, and I'm eager to get into the same environment now as those guys, albeit with new rules. So I think everybody has to find a new level, and that's what I say, it's great for me to be getting in at this stage at when the sport's starting in a new era.
Chris won the S2000 based IRC competition in 2009. That combined with his testing work with Citroën and now Mini, he could be as well prepared as anyone for the next generation of WRC cars.
I think it's going to just fill the gap between WRC and Super 2000. The similarities compared to Super 2000 is the chassis and how you manhandle the car and how it reacts. And obviously the similarities to a World Rally car is a turbocharged engine, so albeit with quite a bit less power with the 1600 compared to the 2 litres. So it's I think it's a new era in rallying and a new stage of development for everyone. Even Citroën and Ford, who have had World Rally cars running for many years, they have a lot of things to learn as well as ProDrive and Mini.
The new era for Meek and Mini is already well underway, but there are a few tough months ahead for this exciting new partnership.
I think, as anybody coming out with a new rally car, a new formula, there's lots of things to learn, but I know the guys at ProDrive haven't been sitting on their hands for 18 months. They've been hard at work doing all the investigations, knowing what areas to focus on, and it's just a case of refinement everywhere, right down to every detail, and I say those where the tenths of the seconds come from. Obviously they're going to do a limited programme next year. It gives us a bit of breathing space as regards testing next year, and and we can continue to develop. Our main focus probably is on 2012, where that's our first full year in the championship, and where we'll be gauged to our championship position. The ultimate goal is to take the car right to the top and become world champion. That's, I don't think anyone's in any doubt of that, where the goals lie. But I say we just have to take it step by step. Next year, I'm sure is about just finding our feet and seeing where we are.
Last month saw the return of one of the great endurance events of motorsport. First run in 1934, the Rallye du Maroc was one of the events in the inaugural WRC Championship in 1973, and in its heyday attracted the likes of Hannu Mikkola, Markku Alén and Björn Voldergaard, rivaling the Safari Rally as one of the most grueling and difficult rallies in the world. It was last run in 1988 after the costs and logistics of running the event became too great, but more than 20 years later, the Morocco Rally returned with a field of classic rally cars hailing from the event's past.
We started to organize it a year and a half ago, and I'm happy to see that it's coming together now. We have 3,000 kilometers of rally overall, out of which 50% of competitive sections.
There was a stellar entry list with the likes of Michel Mouton and former Rallye du Maroc competitor and WRC champion Björn Voldergaard taking part.
It's a lot of great names for this rally, and for sure they're coming for. They're coming from rallying. They're not coming for fun.
7 days and over 1,500 competitive kilometres lay ahead as the drivers departed Marrakesh. And the enormity of the challenge was apparent early on as Voldergaard, driving a Peugeot 504 V6, suffered mechanical problems, dropping him back, while some competitors struggled to even navigate through the desert stages.
The navigation is very difficult because you're driving across a desert and it says left in 200 metres and you can't really see. It's very difficult to pick up the road at times, and there are no markers, so you can easily go off route, and when you get off route you can land up in a riverbed. It's quite scary at times.
The end of day one saw Grégoire de Mévius leaving the way from Michel Mouton in second. It was a pattern that continued for the rest of the week, as the pair, both competing in Porsche 911s, swapped fastest stage times as they traversed the Atlas Mountains and deserts of Morocco on their route back to Marrakesh. Eventually, it was de Mévius who held off the battling Mouton to claim victory, but event organiser Paul-Éric Jory was delighted with the outcome of the whole event.
I feel very happy that everyone is back here in Marrakesh, where we started from a week ago. It's been a very tough rally. It's been a very challenge rally. I don't know if you've seen the past 2 days. It was just amazing. This morning, Michel and Grégoire started the day with 30 seconds difference after 2,500 kilometers of rally. It's just amazing.
Despite his problems early in the week, Björn Voldergaard was able to bring his Peugeot across the finish line, collecting one scratch time and a few memories along the way.
All the scenery, coming from the bivouac we had and up to Agadir in those fantastic valleys, incredible. It's really like you can see nothing like that in the world.
Plenty more still to come. After the break, we take a look at how the 2011 driver lineup is shaping up. We bring you all the latest news from around the sport, including the launch of the new WRC Academy. And we preview the unique challenges ahead at this season finale in the treacherous forest roads of Rally GB. Welcome back. The 2010 season may be one round away from its conclusion, but attention is already beginning to switch to next year, where new technical regulations and a new team have created a number of openings in the driver lineup. First, let's run through what we do know. The Citroën Total team will run with the all-French, all-Sebastian duo of Loeb and Ogier, an exciting lineup which could cause the team some problems.
It will be up to us to make the right decisions now and again when they have to be made. But there are plenty of teams that had very successful years with two very, very good drivers in the team.
Over at the BP Ford Abu Dhabi team, the Blue Oval are sticking with their all-Finnish lineup of Mikko Hirvonen and Jari-Matti Latvala for the fourth year as they look ahead to the new era.
I think if you look at the new regulations next year,
I don't really see it being an issue for either of the drivers. Okay, they've been brought up with a lot more technology, but when you get to a driver of that level as those guys are, then I think they'll very quickly adapt. Come Sweden, they won't have a problem, I'm sure.
Also confirmed in the Ford camp is Ken Block and the Monster World Rally team. The American is due to take part in most rounds next year, and there's also talk of a teammate in the Monster squad, former Subaru man Chris Atkinson and Kimi Räikkönen among those mentioned already.
Well, it's all about budget. I have a 5-car team if we had enough budget to do it. There's amazing drivers out there that don't have seats right now, you know, such as Chris Atkinson, who's my gravel crew this weekend.
After that, things become less clear. Citroën are hoping to run a junior team again, but it remains to be seen if Danny Sordo will be back.
At the moment, I'm speaking with Citroën, but Citroën has also really strong team next year. I don't know if I can drive with a Ford Fiesta, with a DS3, but I can open for everything.
As we heard earlier in the show, Mini's first driver confirmed for their part campaign in 2011 is Chris Meek, but who will be Meek's teammate? Among those allegedly in the frame are double world champion Marcus Gronholm, PG Anderson and Mads Osberg. Gronholm has already tested the WRC Mini, but has yet to decide on his future.
I don't know yet. We have to see. It's now a good time for Mini to come because the rules are changing. Okay, Citroën and Ford, they are already testing and they have been testing for a long time, so it's not so easy to catch them, but I think it's the right moment anyway.
And again we come to Kimi Räikkönen, who seems to be linked with every team. After deciding not to return to Formula One, the Finnish star's decision will be watched with interest.
I mean, there's some options, and for sure I have to choose very quickly and try to choose the right one.
Everybody will be frustrated if he stops at the end of this year, and for himself he will never know if he could have succeeded or not. This is why I think Kimi will be in rallying next year.
The Stobart Ford team's drivers Matthew Wilson and Henning Solberg are yet to finalise their plans, but hope to be back again.
We hope. I mean, those are a lot of things that we're working on at the moment, but you know, our target next year is to try and run 10 cars in total, hopefully between the Stobart team, the Munchies, probably Monster, people like that.
One of M Sport's partners are already confirmed. The Munchies Ford team and Federico Balagra will be back in 2011.
We're looking forward to do 9 events on the new WRC cars. So yeah, pretty excited to get on the new cars and be here next year.
And finally there is of course Petter Solberg, the former world champion, is believed to be close to a deal with Citroën to continue in his independent outfit. In the news this week, the FIA have announced the creation of a new WRC Academy to replace the current JWRC Championship as the first step on the ladder for young drivers with aspirations of competing in the WRC. The Academy is a one-make series where all drivers will compete with identical Ford Fiesta R2s run by M Sport. The competition will comprise 6 rounds of the WRC, beginning with Italy in May. Drivers will compete across the first 2 days of the rally, with the 3rd day used for training and analysis. The first 6 drivers to take part were chosen in Spain last month as part of the Pirelli Star Driver Scheme. Former WRC driver Michel Mouton was one of the judges who helped choose the winners of the shootout.
Braking, no. 0, yeah. Not.
What we've now done, FIA, using some of the Pirelli funding, have worked with North One, who are the promoter, to grow an academy for young drivers. It will be open to the people that have won this year's competition in the Pirelli Star Driver Shootout, and open to other people from other ASNs, other countries, who want to buy places in the academy.
Rally Spain represented the 200th event since M Sport began developing rally cars for Ford. To celebrate this, former Ford driver Carlos Sainz visited the Ford garage to present Malcolm Wilson and the team with a special plaque commemorating the team's achievements and contribution to the sport. Looking ahead to Ford's future, current works drivers Jari-Matti Latvala and Mikko Hirvonen have had their first taste of next season's WRC car as they drove the Fiesta World Rally car in a recent series of tests. And finally, Spanish MotoGP star Aleix Espargaro was one of the last to get a taste of what the current WRC cars can do as he enjoyed a guest drive with BP Ford Abu Dhabi driver Khalid Al Qasimi, the Emirati showing him that 4 wheels can be just as thrilling as 2.
Nice, huh?
Yeah, unbelievable.
It's different fun than circuit. I want to say thanks to all Kashimi, to all of Abu Dhabi 4 people, because it was unbelievable. I saw the World Rally car on the TV, but never like this. Rally car, it's like the bike. It's everything really fast. You are looking one corner, and he opened gas on one corner and already braking on the next one. So it's everything really fast, like the Ducati MotoGP.
One of the oldest events in the sport. For all but 7 times in its 36-year history, Rally GB has run as the season finale. It's a role that the challenging event is well suited for.
We've seen a lot of, championship fights and dramas in the last rally, and if the championship goes all the way over there, it's very difficult rally or very challenging rally to kind of fight for it because of the conditions. So. I think it's a perfect ending for the season.
I think if you look back to all the years of rallying and all the years that Rally GB has been run, it's always really been run that time of year, and it's still, I think, if you ask most drivers, it's one that they want to win. And I think it's just because of the such unpredictable nature of it.
Over the years, the event has seen epic adventures where many a championship dream has been made or torn to shreds. Every driver has their own unique memories from the British round.
There's so many title fights has been decided in GB, so there's many. The one year when Colin rolled with Focus and Tommy went off in the same year, and then obviously when Carlos' engine blew up over there. My fight last year with Seb over there, so there's plenty of good memories of that rally.
It's so many, first win, World Championship, and it's just going on and on, but it's a good place.
I always remember, I think it was 1993, I think my dad finished 3rd, and I remember watching in the stately home stages.
1985, it was the longest RAC rally and had so many different leaders, and I think Henry Toivonen won the rally. After he had been once rolled the car, he has been stopped in the stage with the electric problem, and it was like an adventure.
I have not a lot of good remember here. I did it 2 times and I have 2 crashes, so for me it's a challenge today to be at the end.
There are a number of changes to the Cardiff-based event for 2010. Here's Stobart Ford's British star Matt Wilson to tell us more.
Day 1 of Rally GB consists of 7 stages, and we start on the Thursday evening with this new Cardiff-based stage, never been done before. And then we move up onto the stages around mid-Wales. So we start with Hafren, which is the longest stage of the rally. Move to Sweet Lamb, which is famous for all the spectators in the bowl in the bottom. And then finally we finish with Meheran. And then we repeat that loop in the afternoon. Day 2 of Rally GB, longest day of the rally, just over 140 Ks. And the first stage of the day is a trip back to Radnor. It's not been used for quite a few years, so that'll be good. And then we head to Cricken area and do halfway Cricken, and a new stage which has never been done before called Monument Hill. So I think there's some bits of tarmac in there as well, so it's going to be quite an interesting day. Day 3 of Rally GB, finally the shortest day. A trip into Resolven, which is a classic which has been used for years and years now. And then into Margam Park, which obviously seen massive amount of memories in there. And the finish is still in the stately home area. So we do that in the morning and then just repeat that loop again, and that's it for the rally.
It's the combination of treacherous weather and flowing forest roads that make this rally such a formidable finish to the season.
Normally I like the stages, but actually last 3 years we have had really tough conditions. 2009 massive rain, and 2008 we had frozen roads, icy conditions. 2007 we had a massive fog and rain conditions.
Usually when it's muddy you can use all the road. It's not really, you don't have really to follow the lines of the other cars. You can use your own lines, and that's what I like. But the group is sometimes very changing a lot. This I like a bit less. When it's really muddy in some place, you can lose completely the grip.
I remember some stages done in dark, when you had fog and rain as well, that you can't see at all, but you still have to try to go flat out. You don't really enjoy it when you're actually there, but when it works, you get to the finish and you have a good sound. It's really a great feeling.
It's the typical rally for finish, no? So, and the condition is like winter, and it's very difficult. Everybody this year, and especially everybody doesn't have pressure, so everybody he will drive flat.
Very muddy and normally rain, but this is how the rallying is there, But it's always been good for me, and I like it a lot, and we're gonna go go for a big attack there also. Yeah.
Petter, with 4 Rally GB wins to his name, jointly holds the record of British victories with Hannu Mikkola. This year, though, everyone is hoping to make a winning finish in the current WRC cars. You can follow the action as it happens on WRC.com. And until 2011, it's goodbye from WRC Shakedown.